Welcome back, everybody. You are watching Indiethon Summer 2023. My name's Murph. I will be your host for the next few hours as we head into the horror block. As a reminder, Indiethon 2023 is raising money for the Samaritans, who are a UK-based suicide prevention charity with a free-to-call helpline for those in crisis. They deal with 10,000 calls a day, and every call they answer could change a life forever. Having been in a position where I was very close to calling the Samaritans myself, all the support that this marathon is providing to this charity means a huge amount to me and countless other people like myself out there. So do keep supporting. With that, we have the fantastic AceDelusional here to kick off Horror Block with Choo-Choo Charles. Ace, take it away.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Choo-Choo Charles. Nothing out of the ordinary at this wonderful island. Definitely no scary train, half giga spiders. Yeah, so it looks like we are doing the 80% runs. So let's just go ahead and get started. Timer will start in 3, 2, 1, go.
Best of luck.
Thank you. So we'll let Eugene here, the best character in this game, kind of explain the premise of it. Go ahead and get your yes sirs in chat.
Yes, sir. They call him Charles. Half train, half giga spider from hell. We've been planning his demise for some time now and have nearly everything in order. Just a few people to meet and places to see. Simple errands, you know. Yes, sir. Welcome to Aranerum, the island where miners dig their own graves. Stay close, Charles.
All right. Yes, sir. So the main premise is basically this train monster Charles has been terrorizing the island, and we need to defeat it. And so our main goal at first is to basically talk with the island's inhabitants and figure out basically how to defeat this train. So first this whole beginning sequence is basically just learning how to control everything. We're gonna get this key to enter the barn and get our own train. Because finding a train inside of a train is the best thing ever.
You. Looks like you found it. Open up that door and lead the way. Well, that's good. We can. Are you ready?
And you can just casually teleport to the train.
Yeah, baby! We're coming for you, Charles!
And nothing bad will ever happen.
It's him! It's him!
And say hello to our beautiful monster. Bye, Eugene. Don't worry. Eugene's just taking a little nap. There's nothing to worry about. So yeah, so here is basically the whole island, Aranerum. You can kind of tell like all these characters are like missions. The main ones that we are doing for 80% are obviously just the blue ones, the required ones. There's also some optional ones and some weapon missions. So there is the main thing that we have to keep track of during the run is our scrap. So we have a very specific speed and damage level, be 6 speed and 4 damage. And we want a lot of extra scrap to be able to repair the train at the end. So that's definitely the most basically scary part of the run, is just making because there's some set spawns on the map, but then there's also some crates like that one we'll get later. But those are like, they're randomly generated, and they also have between 1 and 10 scraps. So we really hope to have a high number of those.
How tight is the scrap routing in any percent?
Most of the time it's pretty lenient, because luckily this first mission we're actually going to do an optional mission, which gives us, I believe, 25 scrap, which basically that plus the scrap we'll get on the ground will instantly put us to 6 speed. And we have a pretty set route to basically collect as much ground scrap as possible. All of the ground scrap is basically set. Again, it's always in the same spot. It's only the crates that are randomized.
Fair enough.
Sometime, I think my practice run yesterday, I had 35 extra scrap, which is like a really good amount. But sometimes you can probably get like 10 to 20. So we do this mission here just because it's the closest one to do fast. This is the fastest one we can do based on where we need to go for the required missions. This is what basically the scrap looks like. So we'll be collecting a lot of those on the ground as well.
Yeah.
So he just gave us some lovely, it's either 20 or 25 scrap. So here is our first required mission. Basically, we're going to skip a lot of dialogue, but I actually grabbed a scrap during the cutscene. It's really nice. But she's basically, there's the main premise that she is talking about is there are eggs inside of 3 caves. And this is kind of how we are going to lure Charles into like a final showdown. And so she gave us the first key, and we're going to run over here to this first cave to collect that egg. As you can tell, there's going to be just a lot of running and also a lot of train riding. Which can also be a bad thing, because the thing that we also abuse in Glitchless is the respawn system. Whenever you die, you instantly respawn at the train, like no matter where you're at. Which is good for routing, bad for if Charles decides to show up when you're halfway across the island, which we'll have to do later. Luckily, this first part, Charles has a set time before he actually starts to show up, but at the end, it can kind of get a little risky. And just hoping he doesn't troll us. So the enemies in this game are basically, they're mainly found that kind of had funny faces and masks, but they're mainly found in caves and like a few other areas. But all you can do is really just be stealthy, or in this case, just run away. But there's like no way to fight them. The only way to fight in this game is with the train weapons. Oh, okay, and the person stopped chasing me. That's... So after each cave we're purposely going to die, we keep the egg after we complete the mission. So usually that guy follows us out, but he just decided to stop chasing us. So I need to just fall to my death here. And also the scrap we lose when we die is also random between 1 and 3. So that was pretty bad RNG for that. We will die a couple of times, so we hope that will happen. So yeah, we instantly want speed up to 6, so we can travel to the next place faster. I forgot to get that up. Everything will be fine. Hopefully I don't regret that. Yeah, we just have a pretty decently long train section. If you have anything to say, Murph.
Yeah, absolutely. If you guys have been paying attention to the upcoming schedule directly after this Choo-Choo Charles run, we have Ace once again running Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach, and we do have an incentive open for that one for a glitch showcase for a couple of fantastic glitchy things in that game to be shown off at the end of the run. We're trying to raise $60 to hit that goal. So if you do wish to donate, exclamation mark donate in chat to get the donation link up. Make sure you add your donation to that incentive before you hit submit so that you can add your donation to that goal. We got some time for a bit more reading?
A little bit more time. There's some walking after this.
Yeah. Well, this marathon has some sponsors, and once again we have to thank our long-time sponsor, Team 17, who have supported every marathon we have done for this so far. For this event, they've given us 19, yes, that is 19 games across 4 packs to give to lucky donors. For more info on our prizes, use exclamation mark prizes in chat. So not only can you support a fantastic charity, not only can you put your donations towards some fantastic incentives, but for a minimum donation threshold, there are some fantastic prizes on offer as well.
Nice. So you saw when I exited the train, I had a little boost both times. The edge of the train has some weird collision that, when timed correctly, you can just get a major boost off. Which saves a little bit of time. It's actually just really fun to do. So it's actually a pretty funny glitch. We won't do it here because it doesn't save time in RTA, but only in game time. But when you save and quit, the game reloads you where you are. But for some reason, when you save and quit while placing this bomb, it just respawns you in here. So it saves the time waiting for that door to explode and the time it takes to walk back in. And also it damages you, so you can get a lot closer on the second one. Yeah, we aren't doing it because this doesn't save time in RTA, just in game time, which is what is used for speedruns. So here we are actually going to collect the weapon, the rocket launcher. This is actually really overpowered. It's the only weapon that we'll use for the final fight. But it is kind of tricky because it doesn't have much stun, so Charles will basically almost constantly damage you. And you also have to keep track of the splash damage because you can basically also accidentally kill yourself if you are not careful. Thankfully, there's also a more beginner strat to the final fight. I failed that. So here we're just gonna die, and I am failing at this so badly. There we go. So the other weapon that's mainly used for beginners is the flamethrower. And the flamethrower basically just stuns Charles. It's very low damage, but it will constantly stun Charles. If done right, you can basically go the whole final fight without getting hit once. So that's more of a beginner thing that some people will do. But as you see, the boomer will take full advantage of damage. So the guy, before we jumped off the tower, the guy we talked to gave us the key to the second cave. You get the second egg. And coming up is probably the best time that we want to purge that Charles does not show up, because we are basically getting off the train all the way over here, and we are running all the way to the other side of the island. This is because the third cave is actually right here. So this will basically skip having us to go take the train all the way there and all the way back over here, because the final two segments are basically in this little area that the train is stopped at. But unfortunately, if we do die to Charles, we will have to make this long trek again. So hopefully we do not have to do that.
Yeah, I was going to ask if you're doing a remarkable amount of running for a game about a train. But I guess the whole dying and respawning back at the train is part of the speed tech.
Yeah, especially for the glitchless runs, that is basically the main tech, is just abusing that respawn mechanic to cut down on some of the running time, or the train time. The glitch runs have a interesting glitch called Ghost Train, which basically, usually like when you leave the train just stops, but by doing map glitch while exiting the train will actually keep going. So that basically abuses that mechanic even more, because you can have the train basically stop wherever you need it next. So that's the most of the time save that is from like glitchless versus glitch. If you look at like the leaderboards, the 80% probably the glitchless run is only like 5-6 more minutes. So it's not like huge time saves, but it's an interesting one. Or huge time differences, I should say.
Yeah. Is the map glitch the main glitch that's excluded from the glitchless category, or there are a couple of other glitches?
Basically there's two main ones called map glitch and mini glitch. They kind of they have similar properties, which mini glitch is only used at the very beginning to skip on some of the Eugene dialogue. But map glitch, which kind of leads into the ghost train, are basically those are like the only ones that are not allowed. There's a couple of other small ones, but those are the main ones. So coming up here, the guy we just talked to is the third key holder to go to the third cave. And here we actually are going to talk, I forgot Paul as his name, but this is Eugene's, I don't remember, son or nephew. They're related. So let's not tell Paul that Eugene's ultimate demise. But Paul has a genius plan saying that our weapons aren't going to do crap to Charles. But he has a plan to end Charles once and for all. That he wants us to lead him to this bridge, and you can probably guess by the bombs, the bridge is going to go kaboom. So that is his ultimate plan, and he is going to, after doing that, give us the key to the temple, which is where we're basically going to place all of the eggs once we get them.
I'll be on here once you...
Now over here is luckily where the second key is. Thankfully, Charles did not show up at all. Usually I hear like a little horn, but Charles has been really quiet this round.
Yeah, we're doing remarkably well on that front.
No visitors allowed.
Also, others dudes chasing me. The guards have some hilarious dialogue that they can say while chasing you. Yeah, so here is the second cave. They're all pretty self-explanatory. Just go and get.
Someone's here.
And the reason we have to wait to exit the cave before it dies because the egg basically won't save in our inventory if we die before we exit the cave, because the mission's not complete until we exit the cave. So that's the main reason why we can't just die after collecting the egg. All the other missions, you can kind of do that, but obviously not these.
Yeah, we just had a comment in chat from someone who's just arrived. We have seen a train earlier on in the run, but this sort of middle section seems to be primarily trainless. But
yeah, the beginning
has
the initial beginning sequence has a set Charles encounter, but we've heard yeah, he's been really quiet. We've heard him once so far. Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and collect this just to be safe. Only 3. We did get a good amount of scrap on the first crate, so I'm not too worried about the scrap. So yeah, basically, as I said earlier, the third cave is right here, which is why we basically did all that running for the second key. So actually for glitch runs, there's an interesting glitch on this one where you can collect the egg at they say the same time as you die, and you can still have it in your inventory, and it only works on this egg for some reason.
Hey, get out of here!
Go down. And also for 100% runs, this is probably the scariest part of the run, because this guy down here has RNG, and we want him like how he is now, just going into that cave, because there's a thing would have to collect. I missed the egg in this treasure chest right here, so we don't want him to chase us while we're opening that, or else we might be screwed. But yeah, so there's the third and final egg. We can go up here, collect some final scrap. Or not, that's fine. And we're going to go onward to the final boss. Final fight. So luckily the temple is basically also right next to this cave. It's right there. So let's just make sure we have 6-4. Yeah, so we have 31 extra scrap. That is plenty of scrap for us. So we will go ahead. I'll actually let this final cutscene play out, just because I think Charles deserves some more screen time. And this has actually been a really good run so far.
You're in the wrong place, my friend.
So usually we'll just begin to skip this final one, but I'll just let it play out. Show. So basically, what we learn throughout the game is that putting eggs in this temple will basically bring out Charles's true form.
I mean to say, half train, half Giga Spider Hellspawn isn't his true form.
Step away from the shrine, stranger. You don't know what you're doing. Just put the egg down slowly and lay flat.
Yeah, Warren Charles III is basically the leader of the cults of those enemies. I know we didn't really talk about it because we skipped through all the dialogue.
No! You fool! You've doomed us all!
Hi, Charles. And there's all the screen time for Warren Charles III. Yeah. And now, like I said earlier, we're purely going to be using the rocket launcher. Might get some guerrilla shots in. We want to keep really good key on our trained health and our actual health. And I think you'll see me do a lot is because by leaning, when I exit the gun, it gives us perfect range to get to the upgrade table, so we don't have to like walk around at all to get to it. I just casually on the roof. This barn is the best part of the final fight because he can just get stuck on it. It's hilarious when he just gets stuck on the roof. Oh god, I'm missing so many rockets.
Do we want him stuck on the roof, or is stuck on the roof a bit of a problem?
It can be bad for trying to go fast, but luckily I was able to get a shot off on him when he was on it, so it didn't lose us any time. Unfortunate, I missed too many shots. Let's try that again. So it's really unlucky. It's really like it's missing shots can kind of screw you up. What's funny, I was one shot away from beating that.
I suppose that's where having a slightly luckier scrap route would have made the difference, would have been giving you perhaps just that little bit of extra health to get that one last shot off.
Yeah, definitely. It's also why a lot of beginners will use the flamethrower as well. You can switch between the flamethrower and the rocket launcher to stun Charles. But the stun time on the flamethrower is actually pretty long. Oh, I keep missing shots. I don't know how that was. Just casually in a bridge. How did I hit that? That was awesome. And that one went right through him. Alright, we should be good. Time will come up when the health bar disappears. One more shot. And time.
Congratulations.
So, yeah. So here, now he blows up the bridge. In a epic ending. Nice. So what was my stream kind of froze on my end, you know?
That's
Yeah.
looking like 2720 on the stream time.
That is a PB for me. I haven't done it any percent runs in a while, so that is a personal best for me. I think the world record is about 19 minutes. That's kind of gives you a cue on how fast you can do that.
Yeah, that's
And if
incredibly fast.
I didn't fail the first fight, that would have been like a 24 or 25 minute.
Mm.
Yeah, here coming up to this final cutscene, we'll show you all. And it's kind of a cue of Charles is not alone. Let me see another egg down here. Hold. Hold.
Choo-Choo Charles the Second.
More like Choo-Choo Charles times 1,000.
What would you rather have? One train-sized Gigaspider Hellspawn, or 1,000 Gigaspider Hellspawn-sized trains?
Oh no, I don't know. Yeah, that is basically Choo-Choo Charles. Yeah, sequel. I'm not ready for the sequel. If there is one. But that is Choo-Choo Charles. Just one shout out for this game. We'll do all my personal shout outs after my Five Nights at Freddy's Loners is next. But check out the this is part of the indie horror speedrunning Discord. That's linked on the speedrun page. It's basically a huge collection of indie horror games, and this is like one of the like probably 50 plus that you can find. So if you're not a big fan of, if you don't want to run this game, but perhaps if you look through the games on there, you might find something that interests you. But yeah, that is it for this.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Ace. Great run. We are going to take a short intermission while we get the second game up and ready. So do stick around, and we'll be back in just a short while.